Altonnia, host of the MouthSoap TV film and Foolishness. You can check us out on YouTube at the MouthSoap TV and on all your social media at the MouthSoap. You can find me, Gloria Altonnia, on all social media at Gloria Altonnia. That's Altonnia. Now, today I have a few very special guests with me today. I have the cast members of Bridges Burnt, Tables Turnt. First, I'll start with you. We have Nkemjika. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. And we have Danniella.
Hey.
Nyan.
Hi.
And Corbin.
Hello.
Wonderful, wonderful. So basically, Bridges Burnt is a show about a young Aja Bridges experiencing love's hurtful scorn. It once gullible and reserved Aja and her squad begin a series of social and dating experiments with the sole purpose of revenge. Ooh. So we'll dive into that a little bit later, but first it's time for you to go get your popcorn TV film reviews. And the three films we're going to review today will be Miss Bala, The Prodigy, and What Women Want. Now, starting with Miss Bala first. This film is about a young lady named Gloria. Everyone loves that name. I love it myself. Well, played by Gina Rodriguez. She goes and she sees her friend in Tijuana, Mexico. And basically, she's helping her friend in a pageant. So they go out and they're networking in a nightclub. And the cartel come and invade the nightclub. They kidnap her friend, and Gina is on a mission to, well, Gloria, not Gina. Gina is the actor. She's on a mission to find her friend and get things back to normal. So, Nyan, you saw this movie with me.
I did. And, you know, I really liked the premise of it because as Americans, who hasn't heard the stories of, you know, going to Mexico, being kidnapped by the cartel, right? So I thought it was a great premise. To begin with.
Yeah, I thought they had a wonderful idea. The characters they had in the movie were just great. Okay, my favorite character, I was speechless. I wasn't hearing any of the movie for a while because this guy is so gorgeous. He played Lino. His name is Ismael Cruz Cordova.
He was hot.
Now, if you don't know him, look him up because when I say hot, I mean hot, like burning hot. Bridges burning hot. Like, I was just like, what is this movie about right now? Because, okay, having flashbacks. But yeah, so I thought the writing in the film could have been a little bit better. The characters that they chose were phenomenal. I think each character held their own. They had great facial expressions. They knew how to make you believe that they're really in this situation.
Absolutely. I thought Gina Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
So she was the main character, and she did a fantastic job with just showing her emotions throughout this whole situation. I thought it was kind of interesting how she was a makeup artist. Am I giving too much away?
No.
Should I not?
No, this is a giveaway show. Give it all away.
Okay. So she's a makeup artist, right?
Yes.
And I wasn't really sure how that tied in until the very one last moment where it's like, oh, you know, she's going to a beauty pageant and
right.
she has to look beautiful, and makeup artist comes to do her makeup and she's like, no.
Right. Just as you said
away.
that, I was like, wait, where does it tie in at?
And then she does her own makeup, and I was like, oh, I get it.
Okay, she's like, no, I don't need you. I am a makeup artist.
Right?
I will do it myself. Have any of you seen or heard of Miss Bala?
No, I haven't. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet, but anything that Gina's in, I love her. Yeah, she's one
fantastic.
of my favorite actresses.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely agree.
Yeah. I really enjoyed watching her. Okay, fun fact. I was such nerd. Okay, I was a featured extra in one of the episodes of Jane the Virgin, because she's the main character in Jane the Virgin. So if you go back, I was one of Petra's wedding friends. And they point the arrow at me. So if you guys go back and look at that, I'll be me. I have my little curly hair. Yeah. It was fun. But I love Gina. I love to follow her. And I thought she did an amazing job in this one.
She did. I mean, the movie overall, I don't know. What did you think?
It was moderately good. I thought it was moderately good.
Yeah, it was moderately entertaining, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next movie we're going to review is The Prodigy. Now, this is about a mother having an extremely gifted son. He's like really smart and advanced. But he starts to show disturbing behaviors due to an evil force being in his body. So basically, this kid is born when this serial killer dies. He's born when the serial killer dies. So basically, it's like a reincarnation. So the serial killer is in the boy's body now, right? It kind of gives me feels of The Omen and The Orphan, just because The Omen, he was born evil. And The Orphan, the little girl was actually a grown woman, right? So how that ties in together is there's a grown man living in the boy. So I feel like they're like, oh, we can reinvent this somehow and put it together. And, once again, I feel like the story it had a good concept, but they fell short of like making it interesting all the way through, like not predictable, There was one good scare in there, like one good scare. After that, it was just kind of like, are you for real? Like, are you seriously gonna, put that in there? Have any of you seen not The Orphan, but have any of you seen The Prodigy?
It sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a trailer.
I mean,
I know, I didn't know it was out.
I thought it was. There were points where it did get scary. There was also, towards the end though, I just didn't feel like, that satisfaction you get at the end of the movie where it's like, oh yeah, the story is complete.
Yeah.
I didn't get quite that feeling because, so we can give stuff away, right?
Yeah, we can give stuff away, yeah.
Pretty much the mom decides that the reason the spirit has reincarnated into her son's body is because he wants to kill this woman off that he didn't get to because he's a serial killer, right? So she decides that she's going to kill this guy. She grabs her gun. She goes over. When that moment happened, I was just kind of like, really? Like, because it didn't really get to that point where you felt that desperation where she felt like she needed to do that, right?
Right, because they only showed like little clips of struggles of him like speaking Hungarian, and then him beating a kid with a wrench.
And which was really funny because he beats a kid with a wrench, and the next day he's back in school.
Like nothing happened.
Is that really going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So the mother, her name is Sarah in the film, played by Taylor Schilling. She's Piper in Orange is the New Black. Have you guys seen Orange is the New Black? So that's why I went to go see it, because, a strong woman lead, and, I love Taylor.
Actress,
she's a great actor. Once again, the film has great actors. They show great emotional range and such, but it just didn't deliver what I really expected it to, So the last movie I'd like to review is What Men Want. Okay, I keep saying what women want, but it's what men want.
I noticed that earlier, yeah.
I just keep getting them crossed because, they did a woman version. Yeah. So basically, this is about a woman in she's being boxed out by the male sports agents at her job. But she gains insight over them when she drinks this tea, and now she has the ability to hear their inner thoughts. So have any of you seen What Women Want?
No, but I'm going to. But you're gonna spoil it for me right now. That's fine.
So sorry.
It's okay. Go.
Okay,
go
but
ahead.
did you guys see the one with Mel Gibson?
No.
No.
No, I actually did see that one. Is that the one he was in the bathtub?
And he got electrocuted. Yeah, it was good, right? Yeah.
Role reversal.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it was pretty good, but like, I thought it was like, I don't know. I thought it was kind of
cheesy a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember thinking like if that would happen to me, like, I don't know if I would make all the decisions he made. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. What would you do if it happened to you?
If it happened to me, if I had to switch, I'd probably just I don't really know what I should really say right now. Probably just I don't know.
The truth.
The truth. Say the truth. Say it into the mic so we can all hear you.
I would just chill. I would just be like, I don't even know. Maybe I would.
Would you go to a girl or somebody that you're into and see what they're thinking, if they're into you?
Oh yeah, if I was a girl, I would definitely just start going up asking guys out, hey, let's just go blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
That would probably be one thing if I had to role reverse.
Yeah, role reverse it.
Because I think that's something that kind of like has to happen. Like I just have to go ask a girl out or things like that. So I think that might be one thing. That,
Okay.
Because then if that way, like you could actually give the woman like the permission, like in a relationship, I guess, you know, or like any type of
permission. What you mean?
In terms of like having that, you know, I feel like sometimes a lot of guys can be aggressive going towards ladies. In some cases, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe sometime like, you know, it's a little more like, I guess, I don't even know. I just think it would be a different. It would be a different perspective. Yeah, a different experience.
It's interesting that you say that because in the movie, What Men Want, that was one of the things. Like when she's hearing voices, she hears this like, what does she call him? Sir Buttocks or something?
Oh,
Captain Buttocks?
Captain...
something like that. She has a neighbor that has an amazing ass, pretty
Captain
much. Am I allowed to say that on air? Ass? Okay, I said ass.
For sure.
So, at one point, he's thinking, like, oh, I wish, like, women would just ask men out and she would just make out with me. And then she does, right? And I think that's what you were talking about. Like, you know, it's kind of like a guy's fantasy, maybe?
To take charge, because he was like, finally, I didn't think you'd do it when she did it. They were in the elevator, and he was thinking, I just wish the woman would just ask the man out and just take charge and kiss me on this elevator. And she was like, she's
like, oh yeah,
I'm gonna do it. So they're kissing on the elevator, and he was like, yes, finally, that's real hot. So like, that's what you want?
I mean, just it might be one thing. You know, there'd probably be a couple phases.
It might be one thing, ladies. Just if you're watching, this is what Corbin wants.
I mean, I guess you could say that.
This is what Corbin wants.
Yeah, I mean.
Nine, what did you think about the movie?
Okay, so the main actress, what is she?
Taraji P Hinson. Okay, she plays Ollie Davis.
She's very charismatic, very likable, great actress. Unfortunately, and I think maybe I should preface this with like, I am extremely picky when it comes to movies, and on top of that, I have a certain bias because I like a certain type of movie. So you know. Keeping that in mind, yeah. She was fantastic, but watching it from the beginning, I was just like, I don't really understand why I'm watching this character. She's not very likable. Like, she's not relatable either. She's supposed to be like a strong power woman, maybe like in her 50s?
Late 40s, we'll say.
Yeah, 40s, 50s, wasn't sure. And she's kind of a jerk, you know?
Yeah,
so you don't really like her. And then towards the end of the movie, maybe the last third of the movie, you realize that everybody else thinks she's a jerk, you know? And, she, you know, the reason she's boxed out wasn't because of the men, it's because she's an ass.
Right,
pretty much, which I thought was kind of a cool twist to that. Yeah. It wasn't about her being a woman. It was just like, she was all about like winning and like being on top.
Just her.
Yeah, just her. So she wasn't a team player.
Yeah.
Which is what it was. And it was in an office full of men, which kind of made it seem like, oh, the men were against her. But really, it was just, she was just working for herself.
Yeah. She wasn't being a team player.
Yeah.
So I think she did a great job great job because she gave you that feeling of what a jerk, you know, like, you know, how am I supposed to relate to this person, you know? But overall, like, it kind of gets, you know, get a little repetitive at the end. Like, oh, okay, she's going to go apologize to everybody, you know, that she saw or hurt or whatever, you know, like the, you know, movies. It's a feel good, it's a up and down type of film.
But her apologies didn't come in until, like, the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So you're, like, not liking her the whole entire movie. In the last 10 minutes, it's like, oh, my God, I'm sorry. Maybe I should be better. And it's like...
Yeah.
A little too late.
It's a little too late, yeah. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, in real life, no, I think the guy would be like, kick rocks, you know. Like.
Oh, and that guy. Oh, my God. Okay, I know you thought Miss Bala dude was hot. The bartender, the guy she hooks up with in What Men Want. Oh, my God.
His name is Aldous Hodge.
Okay, Aldous Hodge, whoever you are extremely hot. I don't know what it is about. Okay, I never noticed this before. But I realized guys can have this really, like, sexy neck shoulder thing going. Oh, he's got that going. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I would like to insert, at this very moment, Aldous Hodge and Ishmael, just side-by-side photo, so we can all get a
Too
good
much.
glimpse of that.
Too much. Can't handle.
Don't die.
Nope.
Don't
can't
have
handle.
a heart attack. Okay, sorry,
might.
Corbin, that you have to hear
Oh,
this.
no.
Not to say Corbin's not hot.
Yeah,
himself,
he's hot.
but
He's definitely hot. You'll be up there, you
I
know.
gotta keep my hands off. Sorry, hands off. Hands off.
We'll get that debonair photo of Corbin.
That's okay, we all good.
No, but I think the film, Erykah Badu played the witch. I thought she brought in a light sense of humor in it, but I guess I expected it to be a little bit more funny, just a little bit more funny. Some parts were not as funny. That's just my personal opinion. You may think something different. Now
I was yawning. Last 15 minutes, I was yawning.
She was. She looked at her
was a
phone. I saw her. I was
Bad
like,
time.
oh. So bringing this all full circle, thin line between love and hate. This is where we can rate the movies that we just reviewed. So out of the 3 movies, which were Miss Bala, The Prodigy, and What Men Want, for Miss Bala, I will give a 6.5 just because I thought it had a good concept and the actors were good, so that kind of boosted the ratings up. The Prodigy, I gave a 5 just because I love horror films, and I did jump. I jumped on one part, it got me. I'm not gonna lie. So that's like a good halfway point. And then What Men Want, I gave a rating of 7. How about you?
I think that's pretty generous. Like I said, very picky. Miss Bala, I would give maybe a 5.3.
5.3. Okay.
5.3. Yeah. I like the concept. I like the acting, but it felt a little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, you know what it was? The trailer seemed like a super action flick, but then the movie itself was not, she wasn't really a badass in it. It was pretty much she was the victim that got, put into certain situations, and she decided she made good decisions for herself, which was cool, but
it
I felt like
something we all would do.
Yeah, but the trailer was too misleading. She was not like Tomb Raider badass. So for that, I'll give it a 5.3.
So how about The Prodigy?
The Prodigy, I love horror films, and I understand they're not, they have their issues, horror films have their issues, but this one had a couple good scares. I thought the child actor was good, but some things were just kind of like questionable plot-wise, so I'll give it a 4.9.
4.9. And lastly, What Men Want.
What Men Want. Okay. I did laugh a couple times, which is good. But I was bored.
Okay.
Boring is bad. 4.6.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are the reviews of the movie. Now, I want to ask you, what movies have you guys been watching?
The last movie I watched was Bird Box. That was when it first came out.
I bought the book.
Really, I'm not really a big movie person. I'm more of a series person.
Oh,
so,
okay, TV.
yeah.
So what TV shows are you into and watching?
I watch everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just got an HBO account. So
Okay.
I watched. What did I watch? Oh my gosh. I think it was Here and Now.
Here and Now. Who's in that?
And then, oh my gosh, don't ask me. What else? I watched Insecure. I never watched it before. I started watching Insecure. Finished it in 3 days.
Okay.
And then the
good.
last show that I just finished like a couple days ago were it was Big Little Lies.
Oh, I
Amazing.
heard about that.
It deserved all the
good?
awards.
I'm sorry,
that
I
it
gotta
got.
interrupt. So, Insecure, right? Who did we meet from Insecure again?
Alon. I said his name right.
Alon from Insecure.
Alon.
And
What
yes,
character did
he
he
is
play?
just as hot in real life as he is in the show. Just saying.
Just off of.
What
He
character?
plays
that's all.
Daniel.
He plays Daniel.
Oh my gosh.
The bad influence, yes.
He's gorgeous.
Oh, in real life?
Yes.
Still as gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
super nice. Like the nicest guy in real life. Kid
Yeah.
you not?
How about you, Danniella? What have you been watching?
The last movie I saw was Glass.
Oh, what did you think about that? We reviewed that on our last episode.
I enjoyed it. I should have saw Unbreakable. It would have probably helped with the
it would've-
storyline.
it would've- yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
I saw Split, and then this one.
Okay.
I was like, it's fine.
That's okay.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed
it's okay.
Split.
You didn't have
Yeah.
to see any of them to well, Maybe just a tad.
Like
maybe
a
just
tad bit of Unbreakable, maybe like
Yeah.
a summary of it or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
The trailer would have helped.
How about you, Corbin? What have you been
Well, I actually haven't seen any movies recently because I'm really into martial arts films.
Okay.
And like I really like Bruce Lee. So like, well, not
Bruce Leroy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I really like how much wisdom you can get from like watching those shows, like what they talk about. I'd also like to see people get knocked out here and there too.
out.
It's like it's kind of cathartic. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah.
that's
All
yeah,
right.
but whatever. I mean, that's a pretty good film. So I've been watching those lately, but haven't been to the movies lately.
Okay.
I'd like to
okay.
go.
Yeah. We'll I'll have you again, and then we can go on a
Yeah.
movie splurge and
Yeah,
get you in there.
ArcLight. Yeah, that's one of my
So
favorites.
let's talk about BBTT, Bridges Burnt, Tables Turned. I would like for each of you to tell me your character's name and a little bit about them. And let's start with you, Corbin.
Oh well, I play the role of Champ, and Champ is Aja's boyfriend. But you know, a couple things happened.
Yes.
Cheated. Made a terrible mistake. He's a baller extraordinaire, so he had a couple, I guess, distractions at hand. But it's still no excuse. But you know, on one hand, you know, Champ is might be misunderstood on some levels, but he made a few mistakes.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to say.
So do you think Champ is a good guy, though?
You know what? Like I said, I think he's a little misunderstood, but you know, he made a bad decision.
Okay,
Definitely
you're going
made
to
a
stick
bad
to that,
decision.
huh? You're
Yeah.
going to stick to that.
But I mean, like, you know, I think he's all right. You know, I think you know he might have room to grow.
yeah,
but, you
yeah,
know,
definitely.
Definitely made a decision he could learn from.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Daniela, tell us a little bit about your character and all the good stuff.
Well, actually, I am a waitress, but I'm actually an ex. Oh, actually, not even ex. Maybe like a one night stand type of thing. That's the type of vibe I got from her. That whoever she was with before, she wasn't feeling afterwards because he
Right.
played her.
Yeah.
And she's just sassy, assertive. She knows what she's rocking with, so I appreciate her. And I loved being her. So
I loved looking at your character. It made me laugh so much, especially like your facial expressions. It was like right on. I was just like, yes. I was like, ah, okay. Like I'd be like outbursts, and people would be like, oh, and I would be like, oh yeah, I'm watching a show. But yeah, you definitely made me laugh a lot. How about you, Nkemjika? What? Who's your character?
Mackenzie. My
tell us a
character's name is Mackenzie. She is sassy to the fullest extent. She's confident but insecure at the same time. She has a lot to work with, I feel, but I don't know. She's a handful. She's a handful. She was fun playing.
Right.
I kind of see a little bit of myself in her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In what way? Like,
She's for her friends.
okay.
She just wants a good man.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of women want that. A good, just
want a good man.
man.
Not much to ask
You know,
for.
it's not. It really isn't. So I don't know. She's a handful. What's that thing that they used to say on Jersey Shore? Snooki. She was
a meatball.
okay. No, she's a bowl of fun. I don't know. She's
bowl of
just.
fun. Yeah.
I might be wrong show. I
Bundle
think,
of
but
joy.
A bundle of joy. Yeah, she's
Let's
just.
say that.
She's all of
let's
that.
go with that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Last but not least, Nyan, tell us about your character and your name of the character.
I played Danny, and Danny is one of Aja's best friends. She considers herself to be Aja's best friend, but you know, depends on Aja. She has kind of like a military background. Parents moved around a lot because her dad's part of the military, but they're also like kind of like liberal California hippies.
Yeah.
So it's like a combination of really liberal and super disciplined. Yeah. And somewhere in between, I like to think that Danny likes to think of herself as a good girl, you know, like, you know, she's not materialistic or whatever,
right,
but I get the feeling from the script and stuff that she's more about that status. You know, she likes these athletes, you know, athletes that are going to make it, by the way, not just any old athlete.
Yeah.
So it's got to be somebody that can pull her up in the world.
Give her that.
Yeah, was my take on
Give her
Danny.
that rise.
Yeah. She's not bad-hearted, but she's a little money interested.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and I play Aja Bridges, and she is a naive, gullible girl who just is so in love with Champ, and then she's so heartbroken by what he does to her by cheating on her. And so she's just like trying to figure out her way, and then she realizes, you know what? We're gonna come up with a plan to do them like they do us. And so the journey begins, and there's more to come from that. So stay tuned in that. Now, I do have a few questions that I want to ask you guys. These are personal questions, so answer freely. Don't all talk at once. So, do you think it's possible for people to be monogamous?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. I feel like the question is, could people not be non-monogamous? Because I feel like since the beginning of time, people have been. Well, actually, I take the back. We haven't.
Wow. Well, I mean, I think people can be monogamous. I mean, in terms of like, I think, speaking for, I guess, the male in the room, you know.
Represent
the males now.
Males, show. But I think it's definitely possible to be like in a monogamous, relationship. I think there's probably some points in people's anatomies where they're not in the best position to be monogamous. Maybe not anatomy, maybe just a phase of their life. Maybe like just depending where they're at. What they're doing. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I think at one point, I think everybody has that time where they can have that one special person. But like until you get to that point, like it's gonna probably be a little rocky,
a little rocky,
bumpy, a little.
I don't know, because I feel like if you're seeing someone and you're not married, and you want to see someone else,
right?
Just be upfront,
right?
Just be crystal. Glass crystal.
Right. It's
glass,
like
this water bottle.
But that's not a relationship. That's just dating, right?
Yeah, that's just dating.
Yeah. So I feel like, when it comes to relationships,
exclusivity.
So do relationships have to be exclusive to be a relationship? Is that the question?
No.
Kind of no.
I guess. Oh wow.
I don't know. That's up in the air. What do you think?
I think no. I don't think you have to be like exclusive to make it a relationship. I mean, we have relationships with everybody. It's just like if you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, sure. But I feel like if you have something,
you know what I say, if you have an understanding, So if
I
we're dating, Danniella, we have an understanding that you're not going to go and see Nkemjika because we're dating.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's interesting about nowadays is that you have to voice that. It's not like, we're in a relationship, so that means we're exclusive. You have to be like, are we in one of those exclusive relationships, or are we in one of those open relationships? Because, we have those now.
I don't think so. I feel like if you're dating, if you're talking to someone, you know what it is, but it would be good to be like, okay, I'm still seeing other people. I don't see the harm in that. But if you're in a relationship, I feel like, why is it so hard to just stay with one person?
Well, because I think, at one point you kind of have waves of how you feel about that person. It doesn't matter if you spend more than whatever your longest relationship's been. I'm sure it's good times and it's bad times. And at one point you probably were like, hey,
you get on my nerves.
Yeah, you're getting on my nerves. I'm probably, it's probably coming to an end. But we've grown so long together. We're so close, and we care. It's like you probably don't want to hurt that person, even though you're going to hurt them eventually. You probably just are
Then what's wrong with voicing that?
Well, you could voice it, but it's just it's gonna, if you know it's gonna crash and burn.
Yeah.
And that truly in your heart, but we always tell ourselves stuff maybe it's gonna work, or you get the guy you want to fix him, and you never gonna fix him, or you think you trying to.
I don't think it has to crash and burn. If you want to communicate about it, hey Gloria, it's not working out.
We can't lie. Sometimes you see character flaws in the beginning.
Well, some people get complacent, they get used to it, and they're like, you know what? I've been here for 7 years. I do not feel like changing, so
when you care about someone, you go back
Why
on
don't
the
you go
things you
work out?
believe.
Why don't you come with me? Why don't
Yeah.
you, brush your hair? You know, you
Right.
try to help them, nudge them up, but sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So the next question I want to ask you is, what's your idea relationship? If you can have it anyway. Anyway. I had to do that. Finesse. Anyway.
Someone that'll stay at home and cook and clean for me. I mean, is that reverse old school? I mean, no, honestly, because like living in LA, my day-to-day is so busy. It would be really nice to have a clean place all the time and like available food in the fridge. And I can't do that. But my ideal relationship would be somebody that can do that for me.
Right.
I mean, this is why I kind of like see this whole thing like in the past when it was like guys that expected that from their women. I can totally see why they were trying to hold on to that. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it was like, it's convenient
Until
to
they
have
started
somebody
dying,
cater to you.
putting little drops of
Arsenic.
arsenic in their food. Get that whale money.
Not that I think it's right, but I'm like, I can see why the benefits to that.
Anybody else want to jump in?
I personally, honestly, if I could have it anyway, I would have one woman. Like, that's my goal, for my life. I mean, I think, if I could find one that, can, motivate, like, help me find, abundance in my life as well as hers. Like, I think that's what I'm
wings beneath your
yeah,
wing.
like find, really like just find a girl I can't get tired of. Really.
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah.
I agree with him. Everything he just said. They need to have a strong relationship with the Lord.
Right.
Just someone who I could rely on. Like things get
Underline
rocky in a relationship, but at the end of the day, you want someone that you could fully trust, and you don't have to
but
question.
love and
it.
trust is different.
That is true.
For sure.
But isn't it better to have all the trust in the same person that you love?
What?
I really.
I don't know where that came from.
Speak on it.
I don't know. It just came
Well,
to my head.
I will also say-
I love some of my brothers, but I sure do not trust them. Like, if it's
Well, yeah.
like,
But you want
in
the
certain
person that
ways,
you're
like,
in love with to be the
Right.
person that you trust fully as well.
Right.
It's funny that you do bring up the religion aspect to it because I would not date someone that's religious because I'm not
Me
religious,
too.
And so it's kind of like it's about values.
Right.
I would be afraid that the person I'm with would be unhappy because I'm not religious, and I don't want to have to deal with somebody harassing me about, my religion. Although I understand that the reason that they would be concerned is because they want to make sure that I'm okay,
straight.
overall. It's the same reason I wouldn't date a vegetarian. Nothing against vegetarians, but I'm not a vegetarian.
And
I just want to be able to
enough,
be
you know.
myself.
Yeah, that goes into the thing where, opposites attract. It's better to be with somebody that you have a lot of things in common with, I feel. Like, I don't know. I think it just works better.
Yeah, strong foundation, right?
I would say for me, I need somebody with strong hands because I like back massages. That is a key factor in relationship. I need massages, okay? Back massages, feet massages, head massages. I get headaches. I work out.
That's real.
Got achy bones. That's top on my list for me.
Number one.
Number one. That's it. I can cook. I can clean.
Marry me. I'll massage you.
Okay, that'll be the last resort. Though. If Ishmael is not available.
By the age of 50, if you're not married, we're marrying each other.
Okay, agreed. Okay, so not last question. Next question is, what adversity have you had to overcome to get where you are today?
Wow.
Let me reread this question.
Deep
What
question.
adversity have you had to overcome to get where you are today?
You literally just changed your accent. That was it.
In other words,
Awesome.
But I feel like as young actors, we're still going through it. Like, we're still
Managing the fear
Yeah.
of rejection.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Toe in.
like I feel like we haven't even seen the worst yet. Like, we're still gonna have a huge mountain to climb before we're where we want to be successfully.
Well, I'm personal wise, aside from the career aspect of that, where I am today, after many a relationship, long-term, short-term, married, divorced, been through the ringer. I feel like all those relationships have been stepping stones into me discovering who I am and what I want. And hopefully that'll help me into figuring out who, you know, if I find my match, the right person, figuring that they are that beforehand. Because, okay, that was kind of confusing. I think the challenges in a relationship is knowing who both of you are before you get into it, instead of figuring it out 2 years into it and then having to split up. And I feel like with this experience, I know that better, so that the next one I get into, I'll be better prepared, so that it's the right one. Yeah.
Okay. And you, Corbin?
Can you reiterate the question again? What was it?
What adversity, have you had to overcome to get where you are?
Well, if we're talking about in terms of an actor or in terms of like relationship,
both. We want to know everything about you.
Yeah. Like as an actor, I think it's almost like the same as
in a creepy way. No, I'm kidding.
Relationship
Sorry.
too. You know, like as an actor and as in a relationship, and just like anything in life, managing your fear of rejection, like, because I think that's just one thing that people like get, and it creates like insecurities, like for like casting yourself or like, you know, marketing yourself to like just like having like a healthy relationship, like trusting your partner, like, and like what they're doing or whatever. So it's like I think it's the same thing, because that feeling that you have is gonna determine like how you navigate, you know, your relationship, your career, like whatever may have you.
That's a big one with actors.
Right.
You know, like you're on stage or with a lot of good-looking people, and a lot of times your partners, they don't know where you're at. They don't know why you're on set for 12 hours. They don't believe you're on set for 12 hours. And,
life type of stuff, But,
you made out with your hot co-star? Oh, that would just work.
type of situation, but it's like, that's probably the toughest thing, and it's ongoing, like you said, but, you know, we're here and we're breathing, so, you know, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you already said your piece, right?
I have not.
Let me know.
Part of me is like, I'm not here yet, but it's fine. Like, I'm getting there.
Okay. You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I like that. Honest. Now, before we wrap up, I want to play a little game with you guys. It's called Test Your Gansta.
Test my gangster, you know what I'm saying?
So the first question I want to ask you guys is, what movie was Christina Milian an extra in?
Oh.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you guys a little hint here.
Okay.
The movie came out in 1999, and it took place in Inglewood.
Would she be an extra or was she an extra?
I know
She was an
this, but I
extra.
just can't think of the name.
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a multiple choice. Love Don't Cost a Thing, Crazy Beautiful, or The Wood?
It's probably The Wood.
I don't know this answer at all.
It's definitely The Wood.
Okay, The Wood. It's The Wood.
Okay.
You know how the table is like split in teams? I'm on Corbin's team. That means like the team
That's
got
weird,
one
because I
point.
felt like it was going this way. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, it's right
felt
here.
like it was this way.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
Yeah,
question
yeah.
number 2. In Coming to America, who was a featured extra? Was it Arsenio Hall, Michael B. Jordan, Cuba Gooding Jr., Samuel L. Jackson?
Cuba
What?
Gooding Jr.
I don't like
Yeah,
these
I-
questions.
No,
Definitely
Arsenio
Cuba
Hall was
Gooding
the main
Jr.
character.
Yeah, he was the actual character.
Was
I don't
it
remember seeing Samuel L.
Michael
Jackson.
B. Jordan. Was he even like? Was he like a fetus then? I don't know.
Full-on child.
I don't know.
So I'm
So
going to go with
you-
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Okay, you two say
Cuba
Cuba.
Gooding Jr. was getting a haircut.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
He was
yeah,
getting-
was it?
That's what I
No,
said. I hope you know I said the exact
Yeah,
same
no.
thing he
Two
did.
points
but I
For
don't-
left side, 1 point for right. Yes.
Yes, we're winning.
Yeah, that's
Go
an all-time
team.
classic.
Yeah.
That's an
Step your
all-time
game up
classic.
because I'm answering all the questions
mean-
correctly.
Okay, so third question. This is called mistaken identity. What actors have been mistaken, for other entertainers? We have Lawrence Fishburne for Samuel L. Jackson. We have Common for Steve Harvey. We have Mark Wahlberg for Matt Damon.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
have
It's that
Katy
one.
Perry for Zoe channel?
C
Katy
and D.
Perry.
C and D. It's both those answers.
Yeah. But wait, can I add another one to that though?
What?
Seriously, okay. Dennis Quaid and Star Wars.
Adam.
Harrelson.
Ford Harrison.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. Why can't I remember that?
Dyslexic.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dennis Quaid and Harrison Ford. Tell me they do not look so similar.
I have no clue who you guys are talking about.
Okay, I used to confuse them all the time as a kid, but that's me.
Okay, so final answers.
I'll go with whatever Corbin's saying.
C and D.
Yeah.
Wait,
But like
you're wrong.
D.
No, wait.
C
I'm
and
going.
I'll give you C and D.
I see.
Potato head.
But mostly C.
Definitely D.
Okay.
But
I say C.
Matt Damon and who'd you
Mark
say?
Wahlberg.
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wait,
and-
D. D
Yes,
for sure.
D,
Matt
100%.
Damon. Matt
D.
Damon. Mark
Katy
Wahlberg.
Perry and
Okay.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah,
So-
that one.
Both teams are wrong. It was all of the above.
Wow.
Who is
Trick
mistaking
question.
common for
was
C
that
question?
an
option?
Because we
They
need.
got-
Who is
They
doing
got
that?
the potato.
No.
Potato
This
head.
is a lie.
There's a
Sorry.
whole mustache difference.
They just
Age.
gotta stick one on him. He'll be straight.
No.
Well, I want to say that
That's
I
a
had
lie.
a great time hanging out with you guys, interviewing you guys, and letting the world get to know you. I want
It's a
to
pleasure.
close this with "May the Force be with you," and we'd like to bid you farewell with a movie quotes. So I'll leave you with this. Country got you crazy. 07357.
That was pretty tight. That was pretty
Where's
tight.
that
That's from
from?
Don't Want a Man.
Oh.
If you
That was
haven't seen
tight.
it.
I did not, but I want to now.
That was good.
That was pretty
100%.
good. That was pretty
Oh my God, I love that movie. I can't believe you guys haven't seen
No,
it.
I
But
see that. No, that was good. That was a good one. Wow.
once again, this is the MouthSoap TV Film and Foolishness. You can check us out on YouTube at the MouthSoap TV and on all your social media at the MouthSoap. Hey, let us know where we can find you. We'll start with you, Nine. Your SM social media tags.
Oh, when it comes to Instagram, it's NAYUN_BAE. Yes, that's Bae. Like, I am the original Bae. Truth. Hashtag. Hashtag truth? Okay, maybe I'm not that hip. Okay, your turn.
Oh yeah, I'm just Corbin Jountti, Google, YouTube, Instagram, CorbinJountti. Your boy.
For me, I just started a YouTube channel, so you could find me at the THEE Black Hotties.
Oh, hey, why am I not on this show?
Well, we'll talk later.
I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
And you can follow me at DannyTGM, DANNITGM.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. All right, guys, thank you.
That was awesome.
I like that.
Silly goose.